lady. So after I saw that, I always make sure I always tell our realtors, just like make sure you on point. Hey, if you in the state, make sure you strapped.
Right.
You should
Right.
be
Very
you know
supportive of that.
be there. You should be strapped at all times. Have a knife, a pocket knife.
Yeah.
Have a taser. You have to be able to defend yourself and buy time. That's the reality. Like
Right.
an extra 15, 30 seconds can be the difference of having your life or not. Like being able to get away from somebody and be able to call for help is really, really critical. So I always say safety first. I always want to think about, when I leave my house and if my significant other is leaving the house, the number one thing I want you to do is be able to make it back home safely.
Right.
So keeping that in mind, like, hey, we go into these places and we got to deal with homeowners. We got to deal with people who might be going through stress in life or whatever. So we don't know what somebody might be thinking.
Right.
So
I know.
definitely want you to be safe.
Yes. And so I do find that in the NFL, it was even stronger. Of course, you know what I mean? You're way more accessible. And now, we advertise that we'll do appearances at a bar for an away game, or obviously we're going to be at the Redskins game. So I was always, I knew who I was.
You guys are considered sex symbols though. Like that,
absolutely.
Like that's the thing. Cheerleaders are considered sex symbols. So
I love that. I think that's part of the reason why I wanted to do it. Like, I think that, let's just call this, like, at least cheerleaders at the time. NFL cheerleaders now are different. But during that time, like, I thought especially the Washington cheerleaders, I thought they were like Victoria's Secret angels growing up. And I wanted to, like, that was like my version of being an angel. Mm-hmm. So, like, yeah, duh. But, like, that's fun. That's part of my experience, at least. And what about it?
Is there anything that you in your years that you would have changed or wish would have happened differently?
Ooh, that I would have changed. Yes. Now that I think about it, I do think that sometimes I regret not kneeling around the Kaepernick season. I did not. Oh, you judging me?
Yeah, y'all left Cap out there by itself.
That don't sit well with me. I never be honest. I don't like that about myself. Well, I don't like that about that version of myself.
I had a chance to meet Colin last year here in Florida, and he's such a good guy.
I believe you. Man,
this dude was so amazing. Like I told him afterwards, I said, it's not many men that I would say, hey man, you made me a fan, and just watching his mannerisms, how he carried himself, like you gotta think about it. And I'm friends with like Des Bryant and a couple guys who, in the midst of the kneeling situation, they were very vocal about not taking the knee because they had to take care of their families and all these different things. And the reality is, like I said, is I think like black athletes let Colin down. Like anybody anybody that was in that space at the time had an opportunity to kind of like really cloak him, and because he was the lone wolf, it was easy to isolate him. So I think that's definitely one of the things. Like when I witnessed like hearing some of the guys who just that played at the same time, who've later voiced kind of similar stances, like you just said.
It was hard. It was definitely difficult
because you feel like you could potentially lose your job.
And I wanted to be a cheerleader so bad. Mm-hmm. And I thought, because it was still early in the movement, and I hate that term, but you know what I mean. It was still early in what was going on. I was like, maybe we can make an impact differently. So we instead started to volunteer at inner city schools. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. And showing up to their events and their football games. So we was like, it was still really early in what he was standing for made sense for the world. So he was like, maybe we can do something else but not lose our job. Mm-hmm. But still make just of an impact. And which I think that I'm still really proud of us. Like, obviously, like, I think that my heart was there, our hearts were there. But I think that I wish I would have just been a little bit more brave. Because I don't think I would have lost my job.
You think you would have lost it?
Yeah, no.
You don't think you would have? Knowing that work environment, all the things that I've heard.
Yeah, no, it sounds crazy to say, but I don't think I would have. Like I said, I think that they loved me. Maybe I'm delusional, but
you would have broke. You would have broke the internet if you would have did it.
I think that this is my first time saying this on camera, but I don't care. I really do think this way. Like, I think that I really was the queen of like that era of cheerleading.
You would have broke the internet if you would have took that knee, because in DC taking that knee, oh shit,
Right.
oh shit. If you would have took that knee in DC, you you would have ruffled a whole lot of feathers, and boy, I'm talking about you would have been on the front page.
For sure.
You would have been front page.
I've been on the front page before. And I didn't die.
This one would have been a little bit different attention.
I agree. And that's why I think that I was so scared. But I wish that, like, the person that I am in myself knew that I would be good regardless.
Mm-hmm.
And at the time, I said, I did love being a cheerleader, and I wasn't quite done yet. So I wasn't quite ready to risk the situation anymore. Or not yet, sorry.
All right.
So it sounds a little bit more brave.
But once again, we grow.
Yeah.
We live. You know, I think that hearing you even mention that is powerful still. Mm-hmm. I mean, because that's the thing I hear many people say is like, hey, man, like going back, yeah, I would have done it differently. Mm-hmm. Because it was a significant thing. I mean, Colin is still, he won't ever play football again in the NFL.